What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Horror Honda. Happy Easter if you celebrate Easter. And a family that I bet celebrated Easter and went a little too hard in the paint is the family we're going to talk about in this underrated, forgotten horror gem by Kevin Smith, and that is Red State. And if you know Kevin Smith, you probably know him from Clerks, Dogma, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, and even in the horror realm, you could know him from Tusk and Yoga Hosers. But what came out in the middle of that is a movie that just slips through the cracks that I don't ever hear getting praise when I really think it is top tier work, not just for Kevin Smith, but top tier work in general. And you might not consider this a horror movie. I do. It might be a drama or a thriller, technically. But the things that you can experience in this film and the real life implications are so much more horrifying to me than a monster, a ghost, a demon, whatever. Because this movie is not only some place you could find yourself, it's something that's based off real things. And I'm going to spoil this movie. I'll just let you know up front. I'll kind of give a brief rundown on what it is if you want to check it out. But it is a departure for Kevin Smith in both fronts, and especially at the time period. He just came out with like Zack and Miri Make a Porno, Cop Out, and he was getting real frustrated with the studios he'd see all these other independent directors kind of getting their shine, getting what they want, and he just wasn't really feeling that at the studio, and he was able to scrounge up some money and make this other style film than what he's known for in Red State. And it tells a story of these young men that, through being young men, put themselves in a precarious situation where it turns out that they are now knee-deep in call it a family, call it a cult, call it whatever you want, and they have to try and figure out how to get back to the outside. And all the while, John Goodman's in this movie, and he is looking for anything he can to get on that family, and they want to be able to get them and stop them from what they're doing. And it's just, again, it's probably considered a drama or a thriller, but the real implications is just horrific to me, because when Kevin Smith made this movie, he had seen Westboro Baptist Church and drew some inspiration from that, and he found it so interesting how this guy can seem like some typical old man, like your neighbor next door, but he could have so much hate for these people. And he ended up getting in with a bunch of spats, and they would protest his movies and things like that. And so he draws from that, and as well as you can see some like Branch Davidian vibes, and especially with the story, how it goes forward with the John Goodman character. And it is such an unnerving film and so far out of left field. If you see Kevin Smith and just, I'm a Kevin Smith movie, I love Jay and Silent Bob, and you put this on, you have a whole different evening ahead of you. I promise I could not imagine thinking I'm going to get high and watch Jay and Silent Bob, and the next thing you know, you're watching Michael Parks do one of the most intense monologues I've ever seen in any film. And I always wonder if it's scripted or if you just went for it and did it. But these young men, they're in high school, they're trying to get laid, they're trying to do what they want to do. They're chatting with this girl online, and they're in the middle of podunk nowhere, some random town. And they meet this gal who wants all three of them there. It's this older lady, she wants three young bucks. She wants to get after it. So they go. Typical. They go to her trailer. They're drinking. They gave her drugs. So oh my Lord. She gave them drugs that they didn't know about. Oop. Pass out. That's the opening. That's how the movie starts. It's automatically unnerving. Next shot, you just see a cage that's covered, and you can hear it like a sermon kind of muffled through. Boom. Pull the sheets off. They're in the middle of what looks like a little church. And there is a man, Michael Parks, giving this sermon, and it's just so, you know that this is not going to turn out well. You already know. You bought the ticket for the movie. You turn on the movie. You can already feel the vibes in the room are about to be bad. But if you're a young man that just got rolled in through a cage and you're surrounded by 20 people, some kids, some elderly, and there's someone preaching in front of you, absolute nightmare. Again, probably considered a thriller. Absolute horror to me. Don't give a shit about ghosts. Don't give a shit about aliens. Do give a shit about getting drugged and ending up in a cult. Nightmare. Cults scared the shit out of me. And that's where this young man has found himself. He's in a cage. He doesn't know where his boys are at. It's just him. And this is Kyle Gallner, who I love. I think he's a phenomenal actor. And as this sermon is going and going, it just gets eerier and eerier and darker and meaner and meaner and meaner. And before you know it, he's talking about sins and gays and damnation and fornicating and all this stuff. Fire and brimstone, but it seems not just preachy, it seems ill intent the whole time. Boom, there's a cross back there. They pull a sheet off. There's a young man, another young man, not a part of the friend group, who is saran wrapped or taped rather to this cross. And they talk about how he's gay and he's a fornicator and he's a sinner, where they picked him up. And all while this is happening, all the people in the pews are praising like you would at a normal church, thanking for salvation and love and all that stuff. But they're doing it for the fact that they've got this man tied up. And it's so, and you see the kids going, they send the kids off to go to children's church like you would like a Bible study and Sunday school. And then they take that guy, boom, they saran wrap his head, pop him right in the top of the dome, kill him. So now this guy in the cage is just now watching this. And he's getting lit up. And it goes from there. And I'm not going to go any further with the film. If that doesn't pique your interest of just the first 20 minutes, I would say it's probably a 10-minute monologue of you just hearing a sermon of a man locked in a cage, and it opens up with a man tied to a cross, gets his head blown out, and you've still got an hour and a half left. That's how this movie kicks off. And from there, they got to figure out how they got to escape. The ATF is looking to come take them down, very Koresh style. What was that, Ruby Ridge? Is that what it's called? Very Ruby Ridge style. And I thought that lady walked out of her house without a top. It's just skin tone. That was weird. Caught me off guard. And that's how those kids that's how they ended up in the cult. They got caught off guard. They're like, oh shit, tits. Next thing you know, bam, just watch a dude get blasted. That ain't no fun. But they've got to escape Michael Parks. They've got to escape the family. And do they all make it? Do they not all make it? Who knows? I'll let y'all watch it. And I don't know if I should give full reviews on movies, if I should give positives and negatives a la Cody Leach, or if I should, I don't know. This is what I'm doing. I'm giving you a little brief start to it, and I hope y'all go watch it. If you had seen it, did you like it? Did you hate it? Did it make you uncomfortable? Did it scare you? Or is it just a basic-ass film to you? If you haven't seen it, dude, this is an underrated gem, a hidden gem, a forgotten treasure in the Kevin Smith filmography. So go check it out. I'm just going to leave y'all with that to wet y'all's whistle. I wanted to make something for Easter, and I thought, Easter, church, what's kind of horrible and horrific about the church? Boom, Red State. And it's a movie. I could see some people not being able to rewatch it, having a very low rewatch factor. I'll probably watch it every 6 months. If I'm scrolling through and I see it, I'm putting it on. Love that movie. Phenomenal. I'm in here sweating in the horror Honda because no AC. Southeast Texas. We're dripping sweat. It's getting spicy up in here. But I'm about to go eat some banana pudding and deviled eggs and all kinds of goodies. Just like the family in Red State probably does. But then afterwards, instead of Easter egg hunts, they're hunting down people in the gay district to take them to their sermons, tie them to crosses, and shoot them, all while singing and thinking it's moral. And that's horrific, and that's terrifying to me. But guys, that's the video. I wanted to make another quick one, and I thought maybe I'll start doing some underrated movies, some hidden gems, and this one's Easter inspired. So I'm tired of sweating, to be honest with you, so we're going to cut this one short. But thank you guys. If you like, subscribe, comment, all that, good, bad, whatever. Just let me know what you think. I appreciate it, guys. Peace.